What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This here is Legitical Response. And folks, we got a lot to get into today, and this is another video. We got some lawsuits coming in, right? But we got another video as to just why the Biden administration is destroying this country with everything that they're doing. It's like every single thing they do, it seems like, is some sort of way to get around tradition in this country, to get around laws, to get around everything that we do. It's getting outright insane. Now, we covered a story a little while back. As a matter of fact, we've covered several stories of the DOJ suing states for removing people from the voter rolls, right? And the states claim that they're removing non-citizens from the voter rolls. Now, you might think, well, why the hell would the DOJ have a problem with that? Right? Like, who would have a problem with that? Well, we covered one from Virginia, and just so happens, we got an update on this. That's why we're getting into it. We had Glenn Youngkin come on CNN, and they started getting into a back and forth on this, and Jake Tapper destroys himself, folks. Like, literally destroys himself. And it's not Glenn Youngkin that destroys him, because, yeah, it's Jake Tapper. You'll see. Check this out, y'all.
So, again, let me posit that no non-citizen should be voting, period. 6,300 is a lot.
Yeah.
And I guess the reason, so for people out there who don't understand, the reason why this quiet period was put into law under the federal law is because these purging programs, I'm not singling out Virginia's, but in general, purging programs are error-filled. And sometimes people who were not citizens, who have since gotten their citizenship, are mistakenly taken off the rolls. Sometimes it's just the same name. Sometimes the government just screws up. And so that's the reason for the 90-day period. Why not just honor that 90-day period?
Well, let me just first begin. It's anything but a purging program. It begins with someone identifying themselves as a non-citizen. And I guess I would posit back to you, do you think that non-citizens, when they've self-identified as a non-citizen, should stay on the voter roll and therefore be in a position to potentially vote in a presidential election?
I don't think any non-citizen should vote. How are they self-identifying? How does that happen?
They actually tick a box that says, I am a non-citizen, or they do not answer the question that they are a citizen. And therefore, they self-identify that they are not a citizen in the United States of America. And this is why this is so out of bounds in my mind from the Justice Department. They fully understand this. They understand the process starts with a person self-identifying as a non-citizen, and then there is a match with that person's name on the voter rolls, and they are given not just one, but up to 3 times in order to try to cure it. And this is why I find this to be a very, very unreal moment that is stunning, that they filed this suit 25 days before a presidential election, when in fact this has been going on in accordance with our Constitution, the federal Constitution, and state law since 2006.
Right, so I watched that full-on interview, and like, that was just great, because they checked a freaking box that said they're not citizens. Now, I watched that full-on interview, and he says this, I don't know, like probably 10 different times. They identified as non-citizens. They checked a box. Like, the first question should be, why are these people getting registered to vote in the first place? And then, second question, why does the DOJ have a problem with keeping these people on the voter rolls, or taking them off the voter rolls? I mean, I'm sorry. Why do they have a problem with that? Why are they spending your tax dollars to sue Virginia and all these other states, by the way, all the other lawsuits we covered, to take these people, to put them back onto the voter rolls? It's outright insanity, if you ask me. Like, I just don't understand these people. And some of the excuses they give. Like, check this out. I pulled up the news article from this just to read through it, just so I could see what in the hell was really going on with this damn lawsuit. And lo and behold, my mind was absolutely blown reading this article out. Check this out, y'all. In his order, Youngkin said over 6,300 non-citizens were removed from voter rolls. But an analysis from the Washington Post, yeah, that's not a left-wing activist organization, said most of those removals were paperwork errors, and many were citizens who forgot to check the correct box. Get that, folks? Okay, 2 things on that. First off, like, you don't forget to check a box, right? Like, if they check the box, they have to have checked a box. Either you're a citizen or a non-citizen, so you don't forget to check a box. But that's not exactly what they said, is it? They forgot to check the wrong box. So the Washington Post analyst, whoever the hell that is telling you that these people forgot they were citizens because they had to check one of those boxes. Otherwise, the application would be incomplete and be turned back. Trust me, I know this. I haven't filled out a voter registration in Virginia, but I have filled one out in Louisiana. And if you don't fill out every single thing on that registration, they send it back, they give it back to you and say, look, you missed something. Right? So these people checked the box for non-citizen, and I'm sure it's clearly written. I didn't go and screenshot a copy of that to put on the screen right here, but, there's really no need to be honest with you, because this is just outright insanity. Like, what? Like, are you really positing that excuse? That is one of the most insane excuses I think I've ever heard. You could say that maybe they accidentally checked the wrong box. But then the question arises, okay, so if they checked the wrong box, they checked non-citizen, why were they registered to vote in the first place? They're not supposed to be voting in our elections. And once again, if they did check that box, maybe they shouldn't be voting. Secondly, why is the DOJ suing to keep these people, like, they can never clarify any of this garbage, right? But let's get into this other news article. Like I said, I've got a lot of ground to cover today, and there's some insanity going on today. At first, when I was looking over all the news, I'm like, God dang, man, it's a slow news day, blah, 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 blah. And then, bam, I just got hit with all these freaking articles, and I'm like, whoa! Now I have too many stories to cover, but let's get into this before I rant on talking about my personal life when I'm off over here checking on news stories and shit. Check it out, y'all. Biden-Harris DOJ sue first responders in Maryland, Indiana, North Carolina, Georgia for discrimination over tests requiring basic math skills, fitness abilities, says a report. Now, you might think, well, that's an innocuous headline, right? Yeah, I saw it, and I'm like, yeah, let me read this right quick and see. And mind freaking blown. Check this out, y'all. The Biden-Harris Department of Justice has launched a myriad of lawsuits against various police and fire departments across the states of Georgia, Maryland, North Carolina, and Indiana that discriminate against black and female applicants after they required all prospective employees to take written as well as fitness tests. Now, you might think, oh, crap, man, why are they discriminating against black people? But did you notice that they put discriminate in quotations? Because it's not discrimination. It's just their basic fitness tests and math tests to see if you're smart enough and fit enough to be a cop or a firefighter, right? Like, these are jobs, first responder jobs, or, you're pretty much required, especially police officers and firefighters, to be exact. Maybe not, ambulance drivers or nurses, those kind of first responders. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble spitting out those words. I apologize. But, firefighters for sure. Police officers for damn sure. You need to not only be fit. Like, I could see a firefighter not needing to be that not needing to be that smart. But a cop needs to know the law. They need to be in pretty good shape. They need to be able to figure out if somebody's lying right quick. They can't be an idiot, in other words. So basic knowledge tests and fitness tests should be just an outright requirement. But hang on, the DOJ says if you give them basic tests, fitness tests, you're discriminating against women. If you give them math tests, you're discriminating against black people. Right? Wait. Hang on, DOJ. Hang on there just a second. Hang on. I'm going to save that for a little bit later in this article. Check this out, y'all. Check this out. Last week, Durham, North Carolina settled with the DOJ in a lawsuit. Employers should identify and eliminate practices that have a disparate impact based on race, U.S. Attorney Sandra J. Hairston for the Middle District of North Carolina said, as a consequence, the Durham Fire Department is being forced to pay out nearly $1 million to people that failed and employ 16 of them. This is insane, y'all. The DOJ claimed that the tests are not relevant to firefighters doing their jobs, yet a quick parcel of an online practice test from the Comprehensive Examination Battery test cited in the North Carolina complaint demonstrates how relevant the questions are. One question asks how many 60-foot hoses are required to reach a building 350 feet away. Not knowing could mean the difference between life and death for the people inside of the building, the outlet reported. So what they're basically saying is that's a disparate impact. If you ask these people simple math problems, that's a disparate impact. So what does that tell you about what the DOJ thinks about black people? Like, this is utter racism, if you ask me. They're telling you that if a black person goes to take a test to be a firefighter and there's any math questions on there, that you're discriminating based on race. So the next question should be, why do you think black people are stupid? Like, seriously, do you think black people can't do math? Like, this is the insanity of identity politics, because that seems to be all this is all about identity politics. These tests, they're common knowledge, right? Like, most people can pass these tests. It shouldn't be that hard, right? How many 60-foot hoses do you need to reach a building 350 feet away? I can do that right quick in my head. You would need at least 6. I just done that in my head right quick. That's at least 6. At minimum. That's actually a little bit more than the 350 feet, I believe. But, I mean, that's just fairly simple math you can do right quick in your head. It doesn't take that much of a genius to do this stuff. Why are they thinking it has a disparate impact on black folks? Like, do they really have that low of opinion on black people? I bet you if you ask black people, they would be quite pissed off about this and say, no, stop suing on my behalf, you asshole racist son of a gun. Like, really? Let's keep going, though. The DOJ's Civil Rights Unit filed a lawsuit Friday against South Bend, Indiana, insisting that South Bend uses a written examination that discriminates against black applicants and a physical fitness test that discriminates against female applicants. Cash awards were paid to those black employees who failed the written tests. However, most blacks are passing the tests. So, like, hang on. So, please explain. Hang on, that blows my mind. Let's finish that out, because I'm sorry for doing that, y'all. Like, I'll get halfway through a paragraph and not finish it out. I've been trying to stop doing that, but, sometimes they just say some outright ridiculous crap. The DOJ lawsuits made no effort to explain why the test was discriminatory against some, but not other black applicants. That was the exact freaking point I was going to make just now. Holy crap, I can't believe that happened. Yeah, I didn't read that whole story all the way out. I read the first few paragraphs and I was like, wow, this is crazy. But that's exactly why are they discriminated against some, but not others? Like, that makes absolutely no sense. Most black people are passing this test. So what does that tell you? It's not discriminatory against black people. There's your exculpatory evidence, right? Like, these people are just destroying the country. Once again, like I always say, the Biden administration is doing great damage to this country, and not just what you can see from the mainstream news, right? It's not just the border. It's not just the funding of war. It's not just those things. It's the small stuff too. All this lawfare against everybody, suing all these people to keep them off the ballots, suing the states for crying out loud, for cleaning up their voter rolls, which, by the way, I must remind everybody, they are required to clean up their voter rolls. Like, this makes absolutely no sense, but the Biden administration doesn't care about that. They only want to get what they want, and they're going to sue you into oblivion. What really ticks me off about this, right? Like, I love the judiciary system. But when you bring nothing but frivolous, junk, garbage lawsuits that destroy the judiciary system, I have a problem with that. And I also have a problem with bringing these garbage, frivolous lawsuits spending U.S. taxpayer dollars to satisfy your morality, I guess, because you think in your lame brain leftist head of yours that, oh, there's some sort of disparate impact because you are a racist, whoever that is in the DOJ filing these lawsuits, because you think a freaking math test and a physical fitness test discriminates against black folks and women. Like, come on now. This is getting outright ridiculous. You are a racist if you think that. If you think that for some reason doing simple math is discriminatory, like black folks can't do simple math, you might be a racist, y'all. Like, this is utter ridiculousness. I thought racism was almost eliminated in this country. Like, I grew up knowing no racism whatsoever, right? I had black friends, I had white friends, I had all kinds of friends you can think of. We all hung out. We never talked about our skin color ever. I never thought that, hey, these people, these black friends are stupider than me. I never did that. I never changed my accent to talk to black people. Like, some of these people do this. Kamala Harris is well known for doing this. She'll speak a certain way in front of a certain group, speak another way in front of another group. There was a study done on this, as a matter of fact. A lot of upper-class white liberals will start talking like they're ghetto when they get around black people. They will change their freaking accent. I've noticed other people doing this too, not just uppity white liberals. A lot of people do this, like, especially with Mexicans. Like, hey, Holmes, they'll just say certain things. You know, that's pretty much the extent of it. But you get what I'm saying. Like, these people really think this. That's why they're spending your taxpayer dollars on this ridiculous, frivolous lawsuit that makes absolutely no sense. But enough of my ranting, let's keep going. But that was just one of many lawsuits that are labeling the written and physical tests as discriminatory, as more black and female applicants are failing them at a higher percentage than other applicants, according to the Daily Wire. In May, the DOJ dumbed down the employment criteria in Cobb County, Georgia. The county's use of these employment practices disproportionately removed qualified African Americans from consideration for a firefighter position. The complaint further alleges that the credit check and use of the written exam to rank applicants do not lawfully identify the best qualified candidates for the firefighter position, the DOJ said. Now, I would have to agree with that. If you're running a credit check on somebody, what does that have to do with their ability to go and put out a fire? Nothing. However, doing simple math and being fit, right, has a lot to do with your ability to go put out a fire or rescue somebody from a burning building, or anything else a firefighter would have to do, or anything a police officer would have to do, as a matter of fact. Now, if you want to go in for a credit check for a police officer, hey, look, I get that. You don't want somebody who doesn't know how to use their own money, who has really bad credit, to be a police officer, getting into a situation where they may be handling money that they confiscated from a drug dealer. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm getting at on this one. That one makes sense. It kind of, that one's kind of on the line to make sense. I can make arguments for it to make sense. I can make arguments for it not to make sense. As a matter of fact, I just made one of those arguments because, to be a police officer, it really shouldn't matter if you have good credit or not. See, I can do this all day. I can make arguments for both sides. However, I can understand the argument for the credit check for a police officer. I can't understand the argument for a credit check for a firefighter. I don't get that one too much. But in this month, the DOJ also decided that Maryland State Police should have to pay $2.7 million to females who couldn't be inducted into the service because they failed to meet the fitness levels demanded. There were also complaints about the written examinations that demanded police officers should know how to add up the value of stolen property in the same way that a middle school student could do. Holy crap! Really? Are you being freaking serious here? If the requirements to be a Maryland State Trooper is 7th or 8th grade math, right? Like, I understand sometimes 8th grade math can be difficult. My kid right now just went to the 9th grade, but he just came out of the 8th grade. He was doing freaking algebra. We didn't do algebra until the 9th grade. He's now he's in algebra 2 in the freaking 9th grade. We didn't do that until the 10th grade. Of course, I didn't finish the 10th grade at all. I dropped out and started working. I said, screw this. I'm not learning anything here. I already knew how to do algebra. I was like, y'all ain't teaching me nothing. I felt played by school. I was stupid. I'll be honest with you on that. Leave a comment down below. I'll be honest with you on that one. That one wasn't too smart. I should have finished high school, but I went on to do my thing, and then I subsequently made some very stupid decisions after that. You know, it didn't quite work out, but I mean, eventually it all worked out because I'm doing okay now, but, you know, in the interim, at the time, I probably should have finished high school. You know, working at Pizza Hut probably, it didn't do a whole lot for my finances, I'll put it that way. And that's what I did. I did some other stuff on the side that I really don't like to talk about, but you probably can have an idea of what that is. Ask me down in the comments, I'll tell you, but I'm not going to talk about it on video. But speaking of that, y'all need to do me a big favor. They love to keep this channel in a box, as shown by my damn view counts on my videos. If y'all could smash that like button for me, I would really appreciate it. If you're new around here, do me a big favor and smash that subscribe button to stay up to date on all the garbage coming out of the federal government, the Biden administration. And once again, like I always tell everybody, don't think I'm going to stop doing this because Trump gets elected. If he gets elected, right? When he gets elected. Because I will be right here. Hopefully, I won't have to be railing against the freaking Trump administration like I do the Biden administration. I probably won't. Not nearly as much. At least I don't think I will. But I can assure you guys, you know, no bias here on that. I can promise you of that. But y'all smash that subscribe button for me. Turn on your notifications too, because once again, YouTube probably isn't going to just throw my video up in your feed. So I make 2 videos every single day. One of them comes out around 7 in the evening. The other one comes out at 9 o'clock in the morning, every single morning. Because I make both videos in the afternoon. I upload one immediately, and then I upload the other one immediately right after it, you know, doing that one. But I set it to be to go live at 9 o'clock the next morning. So, you know, sorry. And you know, if y'all wanted 2 videos back to back, you know, I'm sorry, can't do that. I like to spread my videos out a little bit. But if y'all could smash that like button for me, I would really appreciate it. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about this video. Let me know what you think about this lawsuit, how ridiculous some of this garbage is coming from the Biden administration. And y'all try to have a good day. Stay legitical. Peace.